kids exhibit outbursts, tantrums, and tics. It's a condition that's been baffling parents until now. Turns out it could be a rare and often misunderstood disorder that's associated with strep throat in kids. For most, antibiotics can help.
A local family that wants to share their story in an effort to spread some awareness on this. Susan Koeppen joins us now to explain. Susan.
After their son got strep throat, they say he went from being happy-go-lucky to a totally different kid overnight. The disorder is known as PANDAS. There's even a new documentary which sheds light on how devastating this disorder can be on children and their families. Saul and Bonnie Markowitz remember the day their world changed. February 2nd, 2007.
It was almost psychotic.
Seriously, I mean, like, where's this kid? What happened to him?
Their son Brandon was 5.5 when he suddenly changed. Tantrums that couldn't be controlled, debilitating OCD. Brandon wasn't Brandon.
One day he's doing his thing, really happy and wanting to go out and do his thing, and then suddenly the next day he wakes up and we're not sure what's going on.
All because of a strep infection. Brandon had developed something called PANDAS, which stands for Pediatric Autoimmune Neuropsychiatric Disorders associated with streptococcal infections.
And what that basically means is that a child gets an infection and the antibodies to that infection end up attacking their brain instead of the germs.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
A new documentary tells the stories of several families whose children suffer from PANDAS, the violent outbursts, the tics, the tantrums.
Your normal life is suddenly gone overnight. Your friends don't understand why.
He was a completely different kid. It was looking at a different kid in the same body.
The documentary is called My Kid Is Not Crazy because often children with PANDAS are misdiagnosed.
As a filmmaker, what did you see when you were with these families?
What I saw was families going to usually several psychiatrists and going through a gamut of psychotropic medications, all of which were not working.
It's estimated 1 in 200 children suffers from this disorder. The best treatment, antibiotics for the strep infection causing the symptoms.
With the kids where it isn't caught for years on end, where they're misdiagnosed and they're not properly treated, there can be lifelong effects from it, unfortunately.
Brandon's case was caught early. His parents say he is doing well thanks to even more advanced treatments like IVIG, where the immune system is given a boost with healthy donor plasma.
It seems that the longer the child has PANDAS, the harder it is to tackle it.
They're telling their story so other families can get the help they may need.
That's one of the reasons we're doing all this. We're building awareness so people, they may see a little something happening with their child. So how tough would it be to go to your doctor and say, why don't you just swab them for strep throat and see what's going on?
Most cases occur in children between the ages of 4 and 12. It can take weeks for symptoms to subside. Many of these children will relapse. And along with tics and tantrums and OCD, a refusal to eat is another symptom associated with this disorder.
Oh, it's so scary. Hard to watch that video. I mean, tantrums, most parents have kids with tantrums, but this is way different than what I could expect.
Right, and the best way to describe it, the parents say this is a sudden change. This happened overnight, out of the blue. Jekyll and Hyde. Saul was saying it was like The Exorcist. So it's not a gradual thing. This is something that suddenly happens to these children. And we do know that parents are going to have a lot of questions about this disorder. So we are going to have a special Facebook chat tonight. Starting at 7:30, I will be joined by Dr. Elizabeth Spar, the local PANDAS expert. It will be on my Facebook page, Susan Koeppen TV. Join us as we answer your questions.
Excellent. That'll be helpful. See you online.
All right.
Thanks, Susan.